Elina Hipponen did what I think is probably the only study of what are the levels in the UK. And what she showed is, this is a study of some 7,000 people, that in the trough of winter, the vitamin D level is at typically 35 nanomoles, and at the end of summer, it's up at 75. Now that's average. This was done in 45-year-old people, and it was done quite a while ago, and this was only white-skinned people. There were no ethnic dark-skinned people in this cohort. So we know it's going to be worse in the dark-skinned people. We heard yesterday from Bruce Hollis, and there are others who have verified this, that the biomarkers suggest that the body ought to have 80 to 100 nanomoles. If that's the case, then everybody, the average cohort in the UK, is deficient all year round. If you take the rough rule of thumb, at this level, people would need 2,000 units a day to get up to the 100 nanomoles or above. And rough rule of thumb, you'd need about 4,000 units to get up in the middle of winter. So that would be, if the average person was to follow this and were to take the appropriate amount of supplement, in order to get a flat level of 100 nanomoles without the cyclical variations, which again yesterday from Reinhold Wieth we heard might be not a thing that the body is comfortable with. So we ought to be taking 4,000 in winter, 2,000 in summer. I think the Germans have probably got it right. They are routinely giving people 20,000 a week, single capsule once a week, 20,000 units, roughly 3,000 a day. That's rather difficult to get in this country because it's a special, and GPs won't, very few GPs will write a prescription for it, and the pharmacist hasn't got it in stock, and the availability is a problem. So that's something to be addressed. It's worse in Scotland. This is a snapshot. I don't know the size of the cohort, but this is Professor Fraser of Liverpool who did this, and it's down at 10 nanomoles in the trough of winter, and it's not very high in the summer. And my hypothesis is that it isn't the deep-fried Mars bars in Scotland causing the problem, but Oliver Gilly has suggested that it might be the weather in Scotland that is responsible for a lot of the poor health outcomes in Scotland.
What are the two different groups illustrated here?
This is daily hours of sunlight, and this is 25 hydroxyvitamin D. It's the left and the right. The circles is the hours of sunlight. A number of people have suggested that there are between 60 and 100 illnesses in which lack of sunlight and therefore lack of vitamin D are implicated. Dr. Lewis, who was born in Britain but is now living in Australia, has classified them, and I've modified his classification to suggest that there are some illnesses which, in which it is short latency, some which are medium, and the thing we're discussing together today, which is the long latency illnesses, the cancer and others. The evidence is strong for 10 to 20 of these illnesses. Bill Grant, who's going to speak to you later today, has classified more than 100 and shows 19, I think it is, which have strong evidence. And his papers will be going online today and will be available for all of you to download.